By now you have heard about some of the unique benefits of Royal Purple motor oil. One of the primary features of the oil is its high film strength. Some of the important benefits of Royal Purple motor oil, such as improved fuel economy, lower emissions, and reduced maintenance, can be attributed to this one unique feature of Royal Purple. This machine is called a Felix lubricity tester. Despite its imposing name, it's actually a very simple device we can use to compare the load-carrying capability of a film of oil. Within any combustion engine, there are numerous parts that must be protected by a thin film of motor oil. The motor oil must also reduce friction and provide good sealing. And the stronger and more tenacious the oil film, the more efficiently the engine can transmit power to the wheels. On this rotating shaft is a Timken race, a metal device that simulates the high-speed moving parts of an engine. The race is lubricated by an oil cup, which provides the oil film. Opposing this race is a Timken test bearing. When load is applied to the bearing, it will attempt to rub against the race if the oil film does not have enough film strength to prevent it. We can increase load in our test by adding 2-pound weights to the lever bar supporting the bearing. After fully loading the bearing, we'll remove it to measure the oil film strength by observing the size and condition of the wear scar on the bearing. These gauges allow us to monitor bearing temperature and motor amps. During the test, we'll be able to measure the demand on our energy as we increase the load. We'll begin our test with one of the more well-known high-quality synthetic oils. Lubricating the bearing and the race with just an oil film simulates real-life engine conditions. First, we'll check to make sure we have adequate lube to our race and our bearing, which we do. The only thing separating the bearing and the race is the film of oil. Next, we'll add weight to increase the load. Notice that as we start adding load, the demand on the energy is increased. The demand increases from approximately 5 amps unloaded to over 8 amps with 3 weights. We'll remove the bearing to see how it was affected under that type of load. Notice that the bearing shows a very large wear area that is also very rough. Now we'll run the same test again with a new bearing. Notice that the amperage increases again as it did before. This time, though, we'll add Royal Purple 5W30 motor oil to the existing motor oil. This is our fully formulated motor oil. Instantly, the previously high amp reading of over 8 has been reduced to about 5.2. This demonstrates how Royal Purple's high film strength can return some of the efficiency lost to wear, even after an engine has been operating with another oil. We can now go back to a full load with very little change in our power requirement. When we examine the bearing, we find the wear that occurred with the other motor oil is still there, but the surface of this bearing is now much smoother. Switching to Royal Purple can actually help undo some of the wear that may already be present in an engine. Now we'll put Royal Purple to the same test. This time we'll start with Royal Purple 5W30 motor oil, our fully formulated motor oil. We'll use a new test bearing to compare how Royal Purple performs under the same conditions. Now we'll turn on the motor and add the load. Notice that with a full load of 4 weights, the energy draw is about the same without the load. Another unique feature of Royal Purple oil is that it leaves a very tenacious oil film behind on all parts once they are lubricated. To demonstrate this, we'll simulate a cold start on an engine by removing the oil supply. With no oil supply, we can actually start this motor fully loaded and almost immediately return to our starting amps. When the bearing is removed, it shows a dramatic difference in the wear area without the scarring that was observed with the other oil. While film strength is not the only advantage to Royal Purple, film strength is the linchpin of the unique chemistry we call Centerlec. Without this film strength, owners wouldn't see the improvement in fuel economy, the improvement in emissions, or the longer engine component life of the vehicle. It's a difference that you can see and experience in your own vehicle. Royal Purple is the most advanced lubrication technology available for your gasoline or diesel engine.